I thought we'd go over some controversies around the Islamic religion.
Okay.
One of which surfaced a lot was the fact that the Prophet Muhammad, as you spoke of earlier on, having multiple wives. That pushes me to ask the question: does Islam condone polygamy to this day? What we've done in the community, or at least for a lot of us, we've made terrorism a Muslim thing.
Terrorism is just it's a human thing. So it's not a religious thing per se, because I mean, look, even in some Arab countries, like let's look at, for example, Iran.
Yeah.
Right. The terrorists there, or even in Iraq, the terrorists there, also known as the Taliban. Right. Some of them, I won't lie, some of them are Muslim, or they claim to be. But when it comes to Islam preaches peace. So the different types of marriages that they had, one of which was they have one woman, right, sleep with multiple men, right?
Okay.
And then if she falls pregnant, she just say, maybe she'll call all of them, and she'll get a seer, right? Or I don't know what you call those people, a gypsy or something.
Okay. Not like a prophet or something.
No. Like a seer.
Sure.
Right.
Interesting type of marriage.
And then the seer will do whatever she does, and she will tell that lady, that's the father, and then that man must raise the child, even if it's not.
What if you're not? Because I was gonna make that point. What if you're not? Then you just have to assume somebody else's responsibility.
But how would they know?
I mean, mistakes could happen. I'd like to apologize for anything that's gonna seem out of line that I will say. You guys will have to feel for me, but everything is happening with the curiosity of learning. It's behind the cover, bro.
Behind the cover.
We're in. Last week I put up something when I was thinking about this whole sit down actually, and it said, if having conversations around the things we consider difficult, if simply having the conversation around them becomes the difficulty, then what hopes do we have in solving the actual difficult things? I'm going to be honest with you, today's conversation will be a difficult one, particularly because it's going to revolve around the concept of religion, and precisely the Islamic religion. Help me welcome my very good friend, Devon Ray. What's going on, bro?
I'm okay.
Yeah, you seem shy. What's up, bro?
I am a little.
You're a little shy. How's your day been, bro?
Good.
Yeah?
Good, yeah.
I'd like for this to genuinely be a conversation as opposed to it being a debate, because we're sincerely trying to learn from each other.
Yes.
You know, Chichi took the day off today, but we'll try our best to get through this. I think we can all agree with the fact that growing up, or at least generally, that Islam has always been one very controversial religion.
Yeah.
And I have to state this disclaimer, by the way, that I'd like to apologize for anything that's going to seem out of line that I will say. You guys will have to feel for me, but everything is happening with the curiosity of learning. Now, I want to begin with something very common, which is the concept of terrorism. Now, I understand that it's very complex, but what we've done in the community, or at least for a lot of us, we've made terrorism a Muslim thing. When I speak of terrorism, based on the movies we've watched and etc., you know, the average person is probably depicting some Muslim guys or whatever, you know, based on whatever influences our minds throughout, you know, whatever we consume.
Yeah.
Now, I just want us to start by clearing off that stereotype first, that it's not really like a Muslim thing, the way we look at it. You know, maybe your input on that.
Okay. First of all, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
We're gonna translate that. We're gonna put subtitles like we're gonna put some weird guy speaking English. Yeah.
Okay, in regards to the terrorism thing, terrorism is just it's a human thing.
Sure.
It's not a religious thing per se, because I mean, look, even in some Arab countries, like let's look at, for example, Iran.
Yeah.
Right. The terrorists there, or even in Iraq, the terrorists there, also known as the Taliban. Right. Some of them, I won't lie, some of them are Muslim, or they claim to be. But when it comes to Islam preaches peace, right? And violence is not really something that is how can I say, it's not a staple thing in Islam,
Sure.
if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Right? So even when we look at our own history, we do know there's like record of wars that took place,
Mm-hmm.
you know, but all for a specific reason.
Sure.
What terrorists do
Yeah.
is they terrorize people
Yeah.
for some selfish, one-sided whatever.
Yeah.
You know, there's not really any benefit to the conflict they start, or any benefit to the violence that they commit.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and a lot of the time what happens is that even if a terrorist is not Muslim, they can just be, maybe it's an Indian person,
Yeah.
but because they are Indian,
Okay.
people will assume he's Indian, he's Muslim.
Sure.
You know, so it's
Yeah.
not just a terrorist thing. Sometimes it's also about cultures.
Yeah.
You know, like a lot of people will assume that most Indian people are Muslim, when that's not even the case. So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, you spoke about war and some historic context. Has there ever been a time when you look back to history? Has there ever been a particular time where the Islamic religion had to commit some terrorism act because of whatever reason that was at hand?
Well, I wouldn't say a terrorist action, or committing terrorism.
Violence.
Well, okay, yeah, violence, but not in the sense that you might be thinking. You know, like you probably think when you hear that violence, you think of maybe barbarians.
Yeah. Or
you know,
killing and destroying households and so on.
yeah. Well, it's not actually like that, because, like, for example, if we look at historical battles like the Battle of Badr,
Sure.
right?
That is the conquest of Mecca, right? If I'm correct.
Yes.
Sure.
So when we look at the history, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam instructed everyone that we will not kill women and children, we do not break down people's houses, and we do not harm nature.
Sure.
That is not the purpose, right? The purpose was to take control over Makkah, right? From the Jews that were there,
Right.
and the idol worshippers.
Right.
So no one killed any woman or children. No one burnt down forests or blew up houses and streets.
Sure.
You know,
Yeah.
they went out into a battlefield and they fought the battle until they won.
Yeah.
You know, like real men, if that makes sense.
Right. Well, so to ease it up a little, I thought we'd go over some controversies around the Islamic religion.
Okay.
One of which surfaced a lot was the fact that the Prophet Muhammad, as you spoke of earlier on, having multiple wives. That pushes me to ask the question: does Islam condone polygamy to this day?
Okay, so that question is something that has a lot of history behind it.
Okay.
Yeah. So I have this book here that I got, right? That I brought with me.
Oh snap! It's getting serious.
So just so that I don't make any mistakes.
Yeah.
Right. But initially, in the old Arab times, right, before the Prophet even came about, before he became a prophet, let me put it that way.
Sure.
Right. The Arab people were known to be very generous people.
Okay.
Right. Very generous people, very well-mannered people. You know, and I mean that part of the world was like the center of trade.
Right.
You know, so people were coming in, going out, trading things throughout the seasons, throughout the year, right? But they were also known for the different types of marriages that they had, right?
Okay.
So they had different types of marriages. So the different types of marriages that they had, one of which was they have one woman, right, sleep with multiple men, right?
Okay.
And then if she falls pregnant, she just say, maybe she'll call all of them, and she'll get a seer, right? Or I don't know what you call those people, a gypsy or something.
Okay. Not like a prophet or something.
No. Like a seer.
Sure.
Right.
Interesting type of marriage.
And then the seer will do whatever she does, and she will tell that lady that's the father, and then that man must raise the child. even if it's not
What if
his
you're not?
child.
Because I was gonna make that point. What if you're not? Then you just have to assume
But
somebody
how
else's
would they know?
responsibility.
But how would they know?
I mean, mistakes could happen.
At that time it didn't matter.
Sure.
If the seer said you are the father,
So
you are the
but
father.
there was in most cases precision that would often get the dad right.
No.
Okay.
Like most of the time they get it wrong.
Wow. So why even practice that? But okay, anyways.
Well, you see at that time, people in the, like
You said most of the times they would get it wrong.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, how can a seer get something like that right?
So that means most of the times they would give children to the wrong fathers.
Yes.
Okay.
Right. And there were a lot of bad things like this happening. Like another type of marriage that happened was they'd have one woman again, right? And she'd sleep with maybe 3 guys, right?
Okay.
And if she falls pregnant, she'll call all of them and she'd ask them, like she would ask, "Are you the father?" And if he says no,
I know what answer I'm giving if it's me. Definitely. No, but it opens up to different, all sort of possibilities.
Yeah, but if the guy says no, then she just has to accept it like that.
Yeah.
And then whoever is left, I suppose, is the father.
So to get back to polygamy, I believe that was a concept at first to say, does the religion still validate that to this day, or did it ever validate the concept of polygamy?
Well, even back then, right, the only type of marriage that was considered proper, right, was a marriage that was, as people say these days, condoned by God, right?
Okay.
Like as in you'd have an imam, right, to give you your marriage rights and all of that, right? And then when it comes to the polygamy thing, when we look at the life of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, his first wife was Khadija radiallahu anha, right? A very powerful woman.
Okay.
In that time, right? She was a businesswoman.